What's up, everybody? This is Justin Flinter coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the Justin Flinter Podcast by My Metro Medicine. We just finished our Ask the Expert interview with Jamie Gallagher from Origin Fitness Fairfax and CrossFit Burke. We got to know him a little bit more personally. We got to talk about his team. We got to talk about the members that they all service and all the great things that they're doing, including a competition that is coming up. Actually, is going on right now. So check out the interview live. I apologize up front about the quality of the audio. Just keep in mind that we were in a gym recording while people were doing a workout because we wanted to give you as raw of an experience as possible to see what it is that they actually do in their place. It's a great place to go if you're looking for a great place to work out. Check out Origin Fitness Fairfax. They have a lot of great things to offer. And we look forward to next month's Ask the Expert interview, which we will announce soon, and who our guest will be. So keep a lookout for who that person will be. It might be someone just down the road from you. You never know. So that's all for today. Have an awesome day, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya. This is Justin Flinter from My Metro Medicine. Back again, this time February. We are in Burke, Virginia, Fairfax, Virginia, with Jamie Gallagher from Origin Fitness Fairfax, right here, home of CrossFit Burke. And we're here to give you as much information as we can about this great business here in the community. And I'm going to pass over to him and talk a little bit briefly about himself, introduce himself, what it is he's working on here. I got a whole bunch of questions for you, but in the meantime, while you're listening to us, I want you to send us any questions you might have. I'll pull them up here, pass them on to Jamie, and then he can answer for you directly. If you don't have any right now and you're watching this later, just put them in the comments below, and then I'll send them on to him, and he can answer them at a later date. Okay? Thank you so much for allowing this to happen and being here today. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm Jamie Gallagher. Justin, again, thank you for inviting me on the show. Really appreciate that. I started Origin Fitness in 2011 in Alexandria, Virginia. I was a Marine officer before that, and that's kind of what sparked me or introduced me to CrossFit, which is one of our core programs that we have here at Origin Fitness. And so when I was introduced to CrossFit back in 2006, I became more fit. The Marine that trained became more fit. And it sort of, like I said, sparked my passion to help people through fitness. So when I left the Marine Corps in 2011, I started my fitness company, Origin Fitness. And it does not look like what you see behind us. I was a one-man show. I internet across the gym in Alexandria. I had a little boot camp in my neighborhood in Alexandria. I worked at a personal training studio. It was a total hustle for about 2 years. And in that time frame, though, I always kept my eye on the prize, and that was to open up my own facility. So in December of 2013, Origin Fitness opened. At that time, we were called CrossFit Burke. Now we're Origin Fitness, home of CrossFit Burke. So it's been a great journey, and it's something that I'm really proud of. But helping people is why we exist. We are here to serve the Fairfax community, and I think we do a pretty good job of it.
I'm just going to scoot this just a little bit closer. I'm seeing the.
I can lean in too.
Oh, it's all good. So far, so good. So that's great. See, I actually was unaware of how you transitioned from one to the other, the CrossFit Burke into Origin Fitness Fairfax. So share with us once again how that transition happened and what was the purpose, and now absolutely. What is the difference between the goals?
Absolutely. So when I first opened CrossFit Burke back in 2013, I wanted to be called CrossFit Origin or Origin CrossFit or something like that. But each gym in the world, you sort of select your name, and some gym in New Zealand or Australia, they were already called like CrossFit Origin or Origin CrossFit. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go with this SEO name, CrossFit Burke, and that's how we became CrossFit Burke. I always had known, though, that I wanted to transition eventually back to Origin Fitness, but I wasn't ready to do it then. CrossFit was the only service that we offered at that time, so we stuck with it. But as we evolved as a gym, we added more programs. We do a lot of personal training here. We have a kids program. We have a strongman program, a barbell club, a nutrition program. We have all these different. We have all these different things, and so for us to be called a service, Burke, so CrossFit Burke. CrossFit's a service we provide. It's not exactly who we are. We've always really been Origin Fitness, but we were called CrossFit Burke based out of necessity. So last year, I decided that we were going to transition back to Origin Fitness, and that's really so that we can portray ourselves in our local area that, like, not only do we do CrossFit, but we can help you wherever you are on your fitness journey. Whether it's through our personal training program, our nutrition program, or whatever it may be. So we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves as just being only a CrossFit gym. We want to be looked at more of like a fitness and wellness facility.
Exactly. That gives you a little bit more opportunity as well, outside of like other gyms that are just CrossFit alone. Not to say that they don't offer other services, but if they just see the name, then they might get the impression that's all you do. Exactly.
And also, I want to be in control of my own branding.
Right.
So that's really, that's a more of a long-term view of things, and so far it's worked out great.
That's good. That's good. So I want to know, and I would like for you to share a little bit about yourself. So I'm sure maybe some of the people back here, when they watch this later, they're going to ask the same question, like, well, this guy's here all the time, but we never see him work out. Or maybe they do see you work out. So tell a little bit about yourself to the audience. What you do to work out, what you do to stay in shape.
So, to know is to do, and I actually try to work out at the 4:30 p.m. class.
4:30?
Yep.
Did you hear that? 4:30? Are you up?
4:30 p.m.
Oh, 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay,
now we do have a 5 a.m. class.
Okay.
But if I do go to that, it's because I'm helping out, or there's an appointment or something like that at that hour.
Well, that's good. 5 a.m. is actually a good time to work out.
Yeah, it is.
If you can get up at that time.
I'm telling you, Justin, that like the athletes that we have that come to 5 and 6 a.m., they're on it. Like, boom, it's no joking around. I mean, they joke around, but I mean, they get in, they get their stuff done, and then they're out. And they're a great group. I mean, God bless them for being so dedicated to wake up at 4:30 or whatever it is that they need to get here and
that's
and
not
get some
an
work
easy
in.
Thing.
Yeah, and
but
also my staff, they're great. Getting here, 20 minutes prior, 15 minutes prior to open the gym and stuff like that.
So you're not a 4:30 a.m. guy, but you're 4:30 p.m. So
Correct.
What do you do? What do you focus on when you're here?
Yeah, so the way
do you work out here?
I work out.
You do.
Yeah, I work out with our classes. So as you can see behind us, we have a class going on, and I do what they do. I'm getting coached by my own staff. It's a great way for me to get intertwined into the community or stay connected, and also check out to see, like, hey, what are my coaches doing well? What do we need to work on? Things like that. How are the classes running? Really, I'm sort of like the secret shopper that's not very secret, but I used to work out actually in the back of the gym while the classes were going, and I did my own thing. Now, what I had found is like someone walked in, I would stop my workout and greet them. Instead of allowing my staff to do their job, I would do it because I felt obligated. Like, oh, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I can go up there. And so, like, my fitness started to suffer. But when I'm in the class working out, I feel protected. Like, I'm in the class. I'm not going to go talk to that person. I might say, hey, that person's been there for 20 seconds. Go talk to them. So the class actually, it allows me to get my workout in, and it protects my time. So
everybody needs it, especially the guy who runs the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur out there, guys, if you're not setting time aside, a couple times a week to get exercise in, it's really important. I mean, the stress levels that entrepreneurs go through, and really anyone, but entrepreneurs in particular, you need an outlet.
Yeah.
So
It's one of the things that keep everyone in balance too.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
if you're running around doing different things, entrepreneurship, and anything in that regard.
exactly.
So, so what are some of the favorite things that you do here? What are some of your most favorite things? What are things that you
Like exercises?
just like anything? Running a business, right? Teaching classes. What are the
Okay.
things that you look forward to the most when you get up in the morning? I guess.
Honestly, I look forward to helping my members, in whatever capacity that may be on any given day. And I look forward to developing my coaching, my coaching staff, making sure that we're always progressing, constantly striving to create a better client experience. I think those are some things that we do really well here, and it's something I'm really passionate about. And the only way that we can have a great gym is if I have a great team.
Absolutely.
And because I can't do it all.
Absolutely.
Owners have to do owner stuff, coaches have to do coaches stuff, admin people have to do the admin stuff. So like if everyone knows kind of like where they fit into the puzzle and they execute at a high level, then you have a great experience for the people who are trying to serve, which is, you and
Very efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Yeah, because you definitely everyone's got their own things to do.
Yeah, I try to delegate down to the lowest common denominator. So like if there's things that, like cleaning the bathrooms, I can clean the bathrooms. But is that really where my time is best spent?
Right.
No, it's doing owner stuff. They folks that clean the bathrooms, that's what I pay them to do, and you know what I mean? So
Right.
like owners have to do things that no one else can do except for the owners. That's what it's all about. And then as you look at your list of things that you do, like, oh, this I can train this person to do this job or that job, and then all of a sudden you can be more hyper focused on growing the business and working on the business versus in the business.
Exactly.
Which is super
That's a
important.
fantastic perspective to have. So let's come back to Origin Fitness here right now. What are some of the core values of Origin Fitness Fairfax?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is that you teach your employees and try to deliver to your members?
Yeah, so it's professionalism, it's service, and it's accountability. So if we use that as a building block approach, professionalism. If we're professional in all that we do, it sets the other two things up. So if I'm providing service to you, I'm professional in my coaching, I'm professional in the way that I answer emails, I'm professional in the way that I interact with you on a daily basis. That then leads into service. If we're providing a high level service to you, you're going to have a great experience. And then the accountability piece is we're going to hold you as the client accountable because you're holding us accountable every time you walk in. You're holding like, hey, this is not a good class, or this was a great class. So it's sort of like this. It's all interconnected, which is important. Because if we're providing a professional experience for you, then the service is probably sub-service, and then the accountability is probably none.
And that ties in right with what it is that you guys are working on right now, which is this big event, the Origin Open.
Yep.
And if you don't have classes or staff who are on the level of showing that they're accountable, and even the members who are accountable for their own workout, for their own levels, for their own exercise, then they wouldn't even be able to compete at the level that you would hope that they could, or that they have the potential to be at as well.
Absolutely. And competition is always this like weird thing, right? Especially for people who as they age. And what we try to promote here, yes, we are having this thing called the Origin Open, but what we want people to do is we want them to compete against themselves versus competing against the person to the left and the right, because everyone is on their own fitness journey. To take two different people, they're at different places. So we want you to be challenged appropriately for wherever you are. And the Origin Open is really based on participation. Of course, there are going to be people who place first, second, or third, but the majority of the points that each team get is through pure participation. And that for us is super critical.
Yeah, and that's one of the best things in terms of someone being able to reach their goals is they have to eventually figure out what it is that they are able to accomplish.
Exactly.
Beating themselves, not necessarily beating themselves, but accomplishing a higher level and surpassing whatever it is they assumed they were able to reach in the first place. And that's
Correct.
And that's one of the key things for fitness in general is you got to push the limit. You got to raise the bar a little bit each time you come in, and that's huge.
And I believe, though, you cannot reach your goals unless you have a coach to give you that roadmap to
Coach needs a coach, as you
Exactly.
said earlier.
Exactly. Everyone needs a coach. Everyone needs a coach. So we can't see it on camera, but off to the side here, guys, we have 15 foot tall ropes, and there's a lot of people who come to us and they say,
I'm trying to see them back there.
Yep, they're 15 feet off the ground, and yeah, you can see it. And we have people who come to us. Hey, I've never climbed a rope before, or I haven't done it since I was 10. And these are people 40, 50, 60 years old, and they've never climbed a rope successfully. We rope climb, but we build everything off the basics. I can't ask you to climb up the rope if you don't know how to like get your feet in the right position to actually hold on to the rope, right?
Yeah.
So that's where they are. And then we have people, they're so proficient, they're so strong, they do legless rope climbs. They go up without using their legs, and then they come down, obviously, safely with using their legs. But we try to meet people where they are on their fitness journey and making them feel accomplished, challenging them appropriately, and then having them feel, we want to challenge them appropriately and make them feel accomplished.
And I think, to be honest, Jimmy, that's one of the reasons I was attracted to coming down to your gym, is because of what I have seen coming in and out of the place, how you approach the members, and how your coaches work with the members. Because I feel that, I could have gone to any high-level gym that trains Olympic athletes, that trains the NBA, or that trains like movie actors to be the best, like the Spartan, whatever that movie is, at 300.
300.
The movie 300. But to get an actual real understanding of how a business works in a community, to bring people in together, to help them really understand what benefits they can receive by working with individuals who actually care about not just what your ultimate goal is, whether it's to flip these gigantic tires and stuff like that, but you actually are concerned about their overall well-being.
Correct.
And I can see that in your coaches, and I obviously see it in you, and I'm sure that everybody watching who has at least been in your presence or received some coaching from you guys, that they can vouch for that, no problem. So I really believe, which is actually, I'm going to jump ahead because I had a couple of questions. So this aligns with what role do you guys, you've basically hit on it, I think, but what role do you see you and your team having in the community actually?
We view ourselves as, for lack of better terms, fitness leaders. And the reason why I say it that way is because when you come in to Origin Fitness, you're going to get a 360-degree sort of assessment of like where you are. We're going to put you through a consult. Part of that consult is a movement assessment to see kind of where you're strong at, where you're weak at, things like that. You're also going to get a nutrition coaching session with our in-house nutrition coach. We're going to talk to you about how you can improve your mobility or flexibility, things like this. So we are leaders in the sense that, yes, CrossFit or this style of training can be hard, but it's meant to be hard for you, wherever you are. So like, we care more about you as a person than I care about you as an athlete. Right. And because if I care about you as a person, we're all athletic. Whether you think you're athletic or not, you're an athlete. Living is an athletic endeavor. If you're crossing the street and some bus comes and almost sideswipes you, whether you're 10 years old or 100 years old, you're going to probably try to jump out of the way. That's an athletic movement, And so if we care about the person up front, find out what their strengths are, their weaknesses, injury history, athletic history, all these other things, and build that relationship, then we can help them more on the fitness side because that trust is there. And that's why I would say that we are a fitness leader, because the leaders care about their folks.
Exactly. That's good. I think that's key in terms of building a strong relationship with the community as well, because then they trust you more. No reason not to. So along that lines, what does one have to do to become a member here?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a few different ways. Really what happens is, say you were to contact us, whether it's via phone or website or something like that, we set up an appointment. It's a consult. We call it a consult and an intro session. What it is it's a one-on-one session, or if you come in with a friend or family member, it's two strangers are never together. We give you a tour of the gym. Again, this kind of space is kind of foreign to a lot of people. They're used to going to the big box gyms like the Global, like Gold's Gym and stuff like that. And so they're looking for equipment. They're looking for machines.
Right.
And we do have some bikes and some rowers, but really that's it when it comes to machines. And so we give a tour of the gym. We kind of explain like what everything is. Here's a barbell. Here's a pull-up rig. Here's some dumbbells. And we have the people actually touch the stuff, because when you put your DNA on it, it makes it less scary. You're like, oh, it's just a weight. It's just a piece of steel. It's not a big deal, because now they have familiarity. So we make them familiar with our space, and we sit down with them. We talk to them, ask them, what are your goals and what are your priorities? We want to make sure those are aligned. Sometimes, we could have a young man or woman, maybe in their mid-20s, and they're like, I want to go and be a professional CrossFit athlete or something like that. And okay, well, what's your day job? Do you have a day job? Oh yeah, I just got out of law school, or I'm a marketing person at this place. Okay, well, professional CrossFit athletes, it's pretty much their full-time job. You're going to have to spend hours and hours doing this stuff. Can you put that kind of time in, being a full-time employee, and then putting in 3-4 hours?
That's a huge commitment.
Are you able to do that, right?
Huge.
And so I'm using this like example because it really shows that your goals and your priorities have to align. And then if your goals and priorities don't align, let's peel back the onion to see really what it is you're trying to get to. And in this example, most times it's people want to look like they're a professional CrossFit athlete, not necessarily be a professional CrossFit athlete. So you peel back that onion a little bit. Again, we're developing that relationship. We start talking about injury history. Oh, I got a bad knee or a bad shoulder, bad back, whatever it is. My goals. Then they could reassess their goals. And, I just want to lose a little bit of weight. Whatever the case may be. I explain to them how we train here. Put them through, answer any questions. I put them through a little intro session, which is like a movement assessment / workout, and then from there they would enroll in our fundamentals program, and that's 5 personal training sessions with a nutrition consult, up front, and then they would have the rest of the month to do as many classes as they want, and then they would tell me like, hey Jamie, I want to do more personal training, or I want to go into the classes, and then we would
That's
talk
that's great. Give them a little bit of a door. They can try to see which one works best for them. But the combination, because diet and exercise are like the best combination, but at the same time, it's the hardest combination.
Yeah.
It's either some people work on one, they don't want to work on the other. You got to do both.
You do, and
have to.
And it's funny because it's like if nutrition's dialed in, right? You're like, man, I should go to the gym and work out, right?
Yeah.
And then if your workout schedule's dialed in and you're eating McDonald's all the time, you're hijacking all that hard work, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, well, maybe I should dial in my nutrition now. So like they are so interrelated.
Yeah.
So and I would probably bet that most people can get on a regular workout routine faster than dialing in their nutrition,
Right.
because like if you show up here, you're going to get in better shape. Now, does that mean the scale's going to move? Not exactly. It depends on what you're doing the other 23 hours of the day that you're not here. But if your nutrition's dialed in and you're exercising the way that you should, you're going to get
it's like an
results.
equation too, because your nutrition has to match your exercise.
Yeah.
And your exercise has to match your nutrition. Because you can be really good at one, but you have no idea what to do with the other. But once you figure out what to do with your exercise, and you realize that your calorie intake is way off.
Yeah.
It's a balancing. But I laughed earlier because I see a lot of references to Krispy Kreme sometimes. So I walk in here. So what's that all about?
So
Krispy Kreme stuff.
So we have this thing called the Origin Open. You guys can see the banner in the back, and it's a 5-week competition. It's in conjunction with the CrossFit Open, which is the play-in to go to the CrossFit Games. So going to the CrossFit Games is a 3-step process. Starts with the CrossFit Open. You finish in the top 20 in your region. We're in the Mid-Atlantic region. If you finish in the top 20, again, there's thousands of people that do it in each region. You then go to regionals. The top 5 people that place at regionals, they then go to the CrossFit Games. And it's a worldwide competition, and it takes place in late July, early August. And it's in Madison, Wisconsin. So how does that fit in with the Krispy Kreme Mafia? And that's
what it is, Krispy Kreme Mafia.
Krispy Kreme Mafia. So
that's a great name. Did you come up with that?
No. One of our team captains did.
Okay.
So we how do we motivate and incentivize our just regular members who have no competitive desire? They're here just for fitness and health.
Right.
So we created this thing called the Origin Open, and we draft every member in the gym to coincide with the CrossFit Open. We use the same workout that they use. It's published every Thursday. We do the workout on Friday. And so we have 5 teams. We draft those captains, they draft the teams. It's kind of like a fantasy football draft where, 1 starts, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 then goes again. It's just like snake draft. So we draft every member in the gym. Once we have the rosters, it's up then to the captains to recruit those people to actually sign up for it. And that's how we build the team. So each team has their own name. Krispy Kreme Mafia, they have won it the last 2 years, and so there's 4 other teams that are vying to knock them off their throne. And we have a team called the Wall Ballers. A wall ball is a medicine ball, but it's an exercise where you squat down and then throw the ball to a target. We have another team called the Swole Patrol, and then
I saw that one.
Yep. And then
no?
What's that?
Somebody was sitting on rowers
Yeah,
with a picture or something, right?
Exactly. Yep. Kind of like the George Washington crossing the the Delaware.
That's what I saw.
Yeah,
that's a cool picture.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then the next team is called Jacked in the Box, and I'm not sure, but it's at the far end. But and then the last team is my team. It's called 1 Rep at a Time. So so those are the 5 times. So those are the 5 teams in the gym, and last Friday was the first week of the Open.
Last Friday.
We have.
When does it go till?
Till March 23rd, and then March 30th we actually have a banner raising party for the winning team. We have banners hanging in the gym that look like an NBA or NHL banner, and I tie it up, and then the captain pulls on the banner, and it drops, and it's really cool. So,
Maybe I'll take a few pictures and then put them in the video later.
Yeah,
Perfect. Pretty good. So, actually, coming back briefly to the membership, what are some of the misconceptions that people have about maybe CrossFit or maybe even a small gym?
Sure.
I mean, this is not small by any means,
Yeah.
compared to like Gold or some gigantic chain. What are some of the misconceptions that you think people have about these kind of places? And how do you think, what answer do you have to that?
Sure.
What response?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So, the number one is you'll get hurt. No, it's number one. And our injury rate here is pretty low. And I would say the reason why it is so low is because we care about that. Our intake process is very thorough. From that first intro session that you do, to the personal training, to the nutrition coaching, to your first class that you do, you're being coached up. There's never a time in our gym where you're kind of walking around aimlessly. We have the plan, we have the workout. We can adjust anything for anyone. You know, if you come to us with a bad knee and you can't squat, okay, we won't have you squat. We'll work around it.
It's an easy solution.
What's that?
It's an easy solution.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. We just want you to move and have a great experience. Now, do people get hurt doing things? Absolutely. And what I mean by that is, like, let's look up the rate of concussions in soccer. Let's look up the rate of torn ACLs in basketball. You know, like, anytime you're doing something that is active, there's always going to be some risk to it.
Right.
But I'll say that if you're exercising correctly and you're getting the right coaching, the injury risk should be really minimal, because you should never be doing anything that you're not comfortable doing or something that you're not able to do with really solid form and technique. And we do a great job of teaching that, coaching that, and enforcing that.
Yeah, and the level of coaching does help to basically prevent any kind of injuries as much as possible.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, going back to the ropes, but honestly, the people that get injured the most are people who think they know more than they do, and jumping off the rope at a height that you shouldn't, and things like that.
It really has nothing to do with the climbing part. It's
and it's like has nothing to do with the coaching part either. Yeah, like I can't tell you. I'm going to tell you don't jump from 10 feet, but if you do,
it's like, don't put that fork in that sock.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's
people get the idea.
That's the biggest thing that people think about, and I would say that if you're looking for results, just going back to what we were saying, like, everyone needs a coach. Like, we need, people need someone to hold them accountable. One of our core values, right? And so when people come in, if you don't show up for 2 weeks, I'm going to shoot you an email or a text or a phone call. And we call it the milk carton list. I don't know if you remember back in the 80s.
Yes.
There's someone.
That's right.
So
pops up on that.
Yeah, exactly. So we reach out to people. We want you to come to the gym. We want to know what's going on in your life that's preventing you from coming in. The big box gyms, they want you to sign up and never come. We want you to sign up here and come in, because we're trying to help you every time. That's what our business model is based on, is participation. You show up, we coach you up, and hopefully you'll live a better life.
That's right. That's a fantastic goal to have. Obviously, you've got some people who have figured that out.
Exactly.
So, I got a ton of questions for you.
Sure,
Let me see if we can
I'll try to
narrow
be
it
short.
down.
I'll be short.
No. I'm right there with you. I'm the guy that is usually asked to cut back. Okay, let's go to the other guy in the picture that I posted.
Oh, yeah,
there
absolutely.
Earlier.
Yep.
Willie. Willie is apparently the mascot.
Correct.
Got that right? Okay, so he's a mascot. For those of you who don't know Willie, looking at the microphone, I should be looking at the camera. I don't know why I'm doing that. But for those of you who don't know Willie, tell them briefly a little bit about Willie. I know who he is.
Yeah, Willie is my 5-year-old German Shepherd, and he has one eye. He was born with a birth defect in his left eye, and so when I adopted him, I was already taken out, sewn up, and I got him when he was 8 weeks old. So he's known nothing other than having this eye. And as a child of the 80s, Goonies was one of my favorite movies. And so One Eye Willie, the pirate, is I named Willie after. And so he's around the gym a lot, especially during the slower hours, and he'll chase a lacrosse ball around or whatever sort of thing he's doing that day. And he's just he's an integral part of the gym from a community perspective, and everyone loves him. And so a couple years ago, my wife was telling me about this thing that she'd heard about how some companies give out weekly awards to employees for a job well done, something that's meaningful. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. What's it going to be, and how are we going to implement it? So I thought about creating a medal And the medal, I have it in my office. I could probably grab it real quick. But the medal that's in one of the pictures.
Yeah,
that
you're
you
actually
have,
wearing it in the picture.
It is the Willie medal, and it's given out every week to someone who's going above and beyond the Origin Fitness way, and it's not me that's giving it out. It's the person who earned it or won it the week prior.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, but we have input. Like, if I see an employee doing something really, really great above and beyond, I'll email the Willie medal winner so they have some things to kind of go off. Because we're not here coaches aren't here all the time, staff members aren't here all the time. But if we, as a collective, if we're really looking for people taking something to the next level or going out of their way, then it's a better. It helps us with morale, and the Willie medal is given out to the person who really earned it that way.
So I saw you have it on your neck in the photo.
Yeah.
You told me that you were the last person to get it. So it's good that the employees have found something that you have done. So what did they see that you have done? Aside from maybe just like giving you brownie points.
Yeah. So I don't get it very often, which is by design.
Maybe that's not good. By design.
By design. I'm very honored when I get it, but it's not. I am honored by it, and so I don't take getting the medal. I don't take receiving the medal lightly, but when I do get it, for this last, it's the leadership that I provide and the culture that I've created and things like that, which is awesome. I'm really glad that my staff, when I do receive it, they see that and they want to honor me with the Willie medal. And every time I get it, I've gotten it 3 times. I try to take a picture of Willie with it just because I think it's kind of fun.
And that's good. I mean, I've seen him in here, Willie, running around. I mean, people do love it. He's chasing the ball or whatever it is that he's doing. Let's see. So, moving a little bit away from Willie, I wish he was here, actually.
Yeah,
we could put him on camera.
It's funny. He likes coaching. So and what I mean by that is, if you're lifting something heavy overhead, he likes to stand right underneath you. So with the ball in his mouth, he's chomping on it.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of this thing up here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Standing right.
Yeah, and so he's helping, but he's really putting himself in danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he can't be here when, at least on the gym floor, when classes are going on. It's a risk for him.
Of course, yeah, and risk for others as well.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to split Billy. I mean, it's a bad day for everyone.
That wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
To see it, that wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move in towards the end of this, but I want to get people to know a little bit more intimately about you as an individual. So, could you share with everyone who's out there one story that no one has heard before about a time where your life changed dramatically and how it helped shape who you are today?
That's a great question. I think a lot of people would assume maybe joining the military was a life-altering event, which it was, but something that people probably would not know, because I haven't shared it, because I'm thinking about this question a little bit differently since you asked it, is that I graduated from Ohio State. Yep, I'm a proud Buckeye, and but what happened is I was kind of dicking around for a couple of years, and I didn't take school seriously until I was 22. And I went to a community college in Columbus called Columbus State, Columbus, Ohio. And that first year that I was there, me enrolling in that school, and I was down in Columbus, I'm from Cleveland, it was living at home, put my name on the orange juice, all that kind of stuff, living in the basement. I saw my future there, and there was no future. So I'm I have to get out of here. I have to get out of Cleveland.
So then what did you do?
So I said I'm going to go to Columbus State Hall. This was probably, we'll say February time frame. and I just put the wheels in motion, saved my money, all that good stuff, worked all summer.
What was your light at the end of the tunnel? Like, what were you looking for? What was your goal?
Yeah, I was going to graduate from Ohio State and become a Marine officer.
So you were headed towards the military.
Yeah, I was in the reserves at this time,
I
but
see.
I wasn't active duty. But again, like my academic life, which we all, you need some sort of skill, whether it's a trade or some sort of academic degree. You need something to better yourself, right? And so I really, I said I need to take the bull by the horns. I need to get out of it. I need to go to a place where I'm surrounded by people who are serious about school, hold me accountable, so I can hold them accountable, things like that. And me enrolling in that community college in I think it was in 2000, August of 2000, it set me on the course where I am right now. So I would say that decision just to suck it up and do it. Here I am.
There you go. That's a good story. That's a great story.
Thanks.
So I don't have to ask the next one, which is an important lesson. But I'm going to ask my last question, which is, what is it that gets you out of bed every single day? And Willie can't be your answer.
Yeah.
Neither can your wife.
No. Honestly, the pursuit of excellence.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Pursuit of excellence. What do you mean by
Yeah. So I'm always seeking how can I improve, and that's in my opinion that's excellence. How can I get my team to improve here? How can I improve the journey of my athletes? But also, how can I improve myself? Again, going back to athletes need coaches, coaches need coaches, owners need coaches. We all need mentors. Always looking at how I can improve myself. And in business, and when you're a business owner, sometimes you lose that. Like you're so focused on the business that you forget, like, oh, I am a person as well. And so, like, pursuit of excellence is in every facet of life. Be an excellent husband, excellent father, excellent business owner, and just an excellent human being. And so, searching that out, seeking that out, and just trying to do your best. That's really what gets me out of bed every day.
That's fantastic. So that's great advice for all of you out there. Practice excellence, practice being your best. If you don't know how to, this is the place to come. They will help you reach your peak, figure out what it is that your potential is, and you will also figure out what it is that you're capable of, not just in terms of fitness, but in overall life. So I think that's it for today, Jamie.
Great, awesome.
So I'm Justin Flynn. This is Jamie Gallagher here in Burke. Is this really Burke?
We're actually like one,
it's like the line,
one
isn't it?
street over is actually Burke.
Yeah, you're right.
Fairfax.
This is actually Fairfax.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
I'm going to have to check that on the map then.
Yeah.
Because I always get the two confused.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
we're in Fairfax,
Yep.
right down the street from Burke. So if you're in
Literally.
either of those two,
Literally,
come
right
down,
the
come
street.
down the road to right here, Origin Fitness Fairfax, CrossFit Burke, and get your game on, get your workout on. All right, thanks guys for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.